If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you're living in the future. If you are at peace, you're living in the present. If this resonates with you in any way, if you're overwhelmed, seriously depressed, or have a lot of depression floating around in your day, or anxiety or panic, then continue watching this video because it may well change your life. And I'm not going to play that down because it changed my life, and if I'd seen a video like this, I would have saved myself 10 years of pain and suffering and struggling and depression and anxiety, and I honestly didn't know what to do, so I just turned to alcohol and became a drunk, which didn't have a great ending for me. It took, I shouldn't laugh, but it took a lot, maybe 7 years to sort my stuff out. And then look what happens. I'm in a wood preaching about love, peace and harmony and balance and stuff. So, I didn't want this. I didn't want to be a guy in a wood preaching at a camera, but that's the way things turned out. So if any of this resonates with you, please continue watching this video because it may well save you a lot of suffering. And believe me, it's an easy fix. It's an easy fix. I'm living proof, and I'm here to tell you how to do this. So let's dive right in, and I'll see you on the other side. I like this one. Okay, this is the best way I can explain this with birds and ducks. Life, you, emotions, sensations, reaction. Let's just break that down. Life, you, emotions, reaction. We are going through life as if the world is happening to us, right? So you've got this dialogue of thoughts and all this overwhelm and pressure and stress, and it's data. Your phones, you're looking at the phones, you're seeing what everybody else thinks, you're thinking about what you think about them, you're thinking about what they think about you. It's a lot. And I remember being younger and we didn't have all this technology and stuff. That was a lot. So I really feel for especially the younger generations now, being born with a computer in your right hand and a phone in your left hand, and go do life. There's no rule book, there's no help, well, there is help, and here you are, let's go. It's so simple, and it doesn't need to be explained in a million different ways. So there's life, it's happening, it is what it is. The news, what happens in your day, everything is what it is. Okay, we know that. Now the next part is you're in life. This is you in life, going around. And the next thing that happens is you have your mental dialogue, right? So your mind is on a constant treadmill, the monkey mind, swinging from branch to branch to branch, just unconsciously going whoop, oh, and another branch, thinking about yesterday, thinking about the future, thinking about what you got to do, thinking about what people think about you, thinking about what you think about them, blah 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 blah. It's continually going round and round and round. So what we can do with awareness, as we've talked about before, is we can know this. This is the first step. Just know this setup. Life, you, and then the monkey mind. The monkey mind is kind of swirling around this. So the next thing is to just observe number 2, you. Just observe you. What is going on up here, right? We tend to go through life thinking whatever's going on up here is just the way it is. And I'm thinking all these heavy thoughts and I'm depressed or I'm anxious and it's just the way it is. I hate to burst the bubble, and look, it's got to be sensitive because sometimes there's chemical imbalances and there's a number of different factors. However, you can take control, right? You can take control of the mind, of the sensations and the emotions, number 3. And we don't get taught this, so I feel massive compassion and sympathy for you if you are struggling, because we don't get taught this. This should be, a whole lesson at school, how to manage number 2. The most important thing in the world is you. So what we can learn to do is observe the monkey mind. Now I call this a little thing called the wow. I like to go like that when I do it, wow. The watcher, the observer, the witness. Eckhart Tolle, however you want to say it, talks about the witness, the watcher. I like to summarize it as the wow because it makes me remember. And I carry around a little symbol, little sign. Ping, ping. I don't know what that was. I keep this in my pocket, in my wallet. I keep this on me a lot. And this in itself, I believe, doesn't hold any power. It's just a piece of metal. But the intention I have with this holds an awful lot. It holds that quote that I said at the beginning. If you are depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you're at peace, you're in the present. I've kind of like drilled that into into this. So when I hold this, it's like it's just going round and it keeps me present. It's just a little reminder, just a little tool. So I would definitely recommend getting something, a little rock, a stone, a symbol, having it in your bathroom, or write this quote on a little card and put it in the bathroom where you see it. Put it on the back of the door, put it somewhere at the end of your bed, put it in your wallet, put it anywhere where you know you need it when you're stressed, and just tune into that symbol. That quote alone will save you if you need to be saved from this continuous dialogue. Absolutely, because when you understand it, you realize that your thoughts, when you're depressed and anxious, when you're in that state, when you know this quote inside out and you repeat it and see it every day, you pause and you go, okay, I'm all right, okay. I am feeling anxious right now. Why am I? Because my thoughts are in the future. I'm stressing about a future problem. And that's causing my body to react. The throat gets tight, the chest your breathing gets really shallow. And then when you see this as a pattern, it's coming from the future thinking. And your body goes, I don't know how to deal with that, I don't know what to do, so you close up. But if you don't know this, you'll close up and then you get freaked out, and then you might have some booze or food or drugs or you dive into work or just you try and suppress these feelings. But we can't do that anymore because it doesn't serve us. We want to be present and peaceful and harmonious. So when stress inevitably comes up in our day, like it does, turn on the news, whatever, it's all around us, but it doesn't have to beat us. We can, number 2, can walk through this world and not be affected by stress and what's going on. We can feel compassion and sympathy for the suffering, which we'll talk about in a minute. But we don't have to let the world affect us. When you nail this, life becomes a dream. Life becomes what it should be. A beautiful experience. Yes, it's still difficult and stressful, absolutely. But it doesn't have to rule you. So when you notice you're depressed and you're playing you don't know you're playing memories at this point. When you notice you're depressed, that's all you need to do. Just notice you're depressed. Pause. Remember this saying, this quote, oh my God, yeah, I'm dwelling on the past. I'm thinking about the past, how things could have been, how things could have been different, what I should have done, whatever. And then you remember this quote again, you go, okay, that's because my mind is in the past, my body is reacting and getting sad. My body's kind of doing that, you get the facial expressions. When you start to notice the signs, my face used to be like that. When I caught myself doing that, I'd pause and go, oh, okay, what is this? Where's it come from? Tap into the mind. It's either here or it's here. Back to the now. How do we get back to the now? Through the breath. Watch the other videos. Oh, why am I doing this? Watch the other videos. I'll put some links below. Plenty of tips. It's just a case of, look, there's no magic bullet with all this stuff. You have to put in the self-work. But the self-work is fun and it's good and it's healthy and it only brings you to a better place. So kind of a win-win. So, you know, it's difficult to understand when you're depressed and anxious and overwhelmed and stressed because you're in it, you're in under the cloud, and I know that cloud just as much as anyone else that knows that cloud, believe me. And no video, I know, no video can tell you that it's all good and it's all fine, because you're like, you have no idea what I've been through. I get it. But all I can tell you is, if you start the process, it's like the domino effect, the spiral. You know, when things are going bad and it's just bad thing after and the next thing, bad thing, and nothing's going right and it's just going down and down and down, and you just give up and it's just too much, so you do this and whatever. Let me just tell you, I just want to pop that bubble. Let me just tell you that if you start this process and you commit to this process of wanting to break free from this cycle of suffering, this grip of suffering, if you commit to that idea, you don't have to believe it, but just believe that I believe you can do it. When you start this process and you do not stop, this downward spiral slows down, and then it starts going the other way. And before you know it, this anxiety starts to dissolve, and you go, oh my God, I'm walking outside, I'm walking in the city, or I'm watching something and I'm not feeling that you know. And you go days without anxiety and go, okay, there's something in this, I'm going to keep doing it. The depression, you'll start to notice that you're not feeling depressed. I'm sorry for the people that aren't so depressed or anxious, but for the people that are, when you've been depressed and anxious for so long, and then you don't feel anxiety and depression, I'm speechless, because that's what happened to me. It was, I think it was about 9 years. I say 10 years, it's just, you know, it sounds better. It was about 10 years. The best part of 10 years, that's what people say. I had it for about 10 years, just brutal. My body was reacting. I was bolting upright in my sleep. I couldn't get to sleep, and I was like jolting, and I was profusely sweating, and yeah, I'll talk more about it later. But it was rough. It was really rough. Every night I went to sleep, and no word of a lie, I didn't think I was going to wake up. I used to write little death notes and letters to my family and friends, over and over and over, and I'd screw them up in the morning when I'd wake up. That's a bit sad, but it's true, and there's a reason why I'm here looking like this, talking to you right now, because it's so important, and you can break free in a matter of days. I mean, it takes a lot of work and you've got to keep going, but the journey is so amazing because you're getting the progress, and this domino goes the other way, and then you don't even need the spiral. You're just living. Now, there's reasons why this is happening, like the food you're eating, the drinks you're drinking, the things you're putting into your body are massively contributing to your anxiety and stress. Absolutely. So that's another, that takes a lot of work, and you've got to really commit to transforming. I coach people through this process, and we go through a transformational journey, and we, look at all these things. What are you putting into your mind and your body? Because these products are gonna, lost my train of thought, but I'm gonna carry on. They're affecting you. They're affecting your system, your nervous system. So you've got to look at what's going in and then wonder why you're reacting like this. It's not just happening to you. You are responsible. You might not like that, but it's true. To some level, of course, there is chemical imbalances, like I said, so I don't want to just say it as a blanket statement. But ultimately, what you put in affects how you are going through life. So I want you to look at these 3 things, and I want you to maybe write this down. Your awareness of your mind. Start to observe your mind. Just no judgment, just observe it every day. Just watch what your mind is doing. Is it going this way? Is it going this way? Or is it in the middle? Awareness of your sensations. I used to be very addictive. Notice the self-talk. I'm an addictive person. You are an addictive person if you are stating you are an addictive person. I used to be an addictive person, but I worked on it, so now I am free from addictions. Notice your sensations when your mind starts to go, I need that thing, instead of just reaching for the beer or the cigarette or the food or the porn or the drugs or the jumping into the work to suppress that feeling. Well, actually, it's either here or it's here. Notice the sensations and remember the quote. Come back to the breath and come back to the present. And what you'll find is these emotions and these sensations are continuously going through our mind, but they pass like water flows downstream. But we never let them pass. We grab them and we go, ugh, ugh. And we store them in all these places that we can't see. So, monkey mind, emotions, sensation, this is what you concentrate on. You take control and rewire the system. You become the boss, the CEO of you. You take charge of the monkey. You write the monkey's rota, I'd like to go for a run or a walk or a steam or a sauna. That's when I let the monkey do its thing. I let it swing free and just have a good time, and then see where my mind goes. And that's where you get new ideas and all sorts and work out stuff. But when I'm going to sleep, no way. I don't allow my mind to think. When I go to bed, it's time to sleep. Otherwise, you're there for hours just going, oh, what should I think about next? What story shall I play now? This is how we go through life generally. So we are more than our physical bodies. We are more than physical awareness. We are more than this constant stream of thoughts that's going through our mind. Now is the time to snap out of the trance of life and observe the world, you in the world, and your emotion sensations that are controlling how you act in the world. And your number 4, the reaction, instead of just feeling the emotion and the sensation and then just reacting, because that's how we eat. Instead of just reacting on autopilot, pause. You know the pause button. We catch it here, this part here. The world, you, emotions, sensations, reaction. This is your window. Catch it in as many moments and return to the present moment by tuning into peace. Yeah, that's it. It's as simple as that. Sorry, it took 20 minutes, but I like chatting to you. What can I say? I like our time together. It makes me smile. So please practice this. Write this down, write that quote down. If you are depressed, you're living in the past. If you're anxious, you're living in the future. If you're at peace, you are in the present. Write that down and keep it on you, put it everywhere, and start tuning yourself to this statement, and watch yourself in as many moments as possible. I really love you. I'm not just saying that. Keep commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, hit the bell notification, all of that jazz. And keep getting in touch with me, because I'm talking to you on a daily basis, and it's great. We're talking about your life, and that's what I'm doing this for. So I can help you and tailor these little tips to your life, to help you get through what you need to get through. But do check out all the videos and soak all this stuff up and apply this stuff. There's nothing worse than taking on information and going, okay, and then not doing anything about it. Knowledge without action is just purely knowledge. You know, there's plenty of clever people out there that don't practice all this stuff, and plenty of spiritual people that don't practice all this stuff. So grab your little symbol, your little stone or whatever, keep it on you, and let it be a reminder to be here in the present moment, where life truly is, free from the future and the past. The past is gone. Use it for reference or to remember a memory. The future doesn't exist. It's not real. It's not real. The future depends on your present action. So if you want a good future, stay present and use these tips